So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. We got a Tuesday grid to hop into, and I got a fantastic Paul Ma Reserve. This is the du Cin-Cin Languedoc, and what this is a Grenache Noir, Shiraz, Carignan, and on the nose, it's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. It's got that French metallic type of terroir going on here. You can pick it up so lovely with some blackberries and some definite blueberries. Feels like I'm picking up oak, but interestingly enough, out of this one, not any vanilla or tobacco to speak of. No sulfurs either on the palate. And we might have to pause this puzzle in between here. I might have to go get some more of this out of the wine fridge, because on the palate, this is just a fantastically finishing, no tannin, universal donor wine. This is that blood type that everybody has to give when they got it, because it works with anybody. This will go with anything you want to serve outside of breakfast cereal. You might be able to make it work with maybe steel cut oatmeal. Maybe. How savory do you like your oatmeal? But this would be fantastic. It's got the impression of a sweet on the nose, but it is a lovely dry wine, but not so dry, or as they say in German, auf Deutsch, furztrocken. It's literally the kind of dry that my wife would absolutely love to have, and she might just have a glass of this evening, because I think she'd actually like this one. The dry Italians and Spanish wines do not set well with her because they're just so very, very dry. But this one she would love. So Schatzi, I think you found your evening wine.
It's not sugary though.
It's not sugary at all. No, it is dry, but it's just lovely on the palate. So fantastic wine. This one will set you back about 12 euros. Not terrible, not a budget breaker by any stretch. And if you have a special occasion, something to go beyond the box out of the fridge for, right? You know, this might be your ticket. This is a really nice wine. I can't speak to the price over anywhere but here on the continent, so to speak, but I'm sure we're not talking about a terribly expensive bottle of wine. So I'd hop all over that one if I were you. So, all right, we have a Tuesday grid by Boaz Moser, edited by Will Short. So let's just hop into this. See what we got. I mean, it's Tuesday after all, but I mean, you know, after the week before last, and then you never know what you're going to get on these Tuesdays. So we'll just keep an open mind, right? It's like a parachute. It's the only function when they're open. Angry Birds is Snapchat for 2, and I'm just going to go with apps. I never did the Snapchat thing, and Angry Birds was fun for about 10 minutes. What was that one I got hooked on bad? Oh, Candy Crush. That was, I had to delete that sucker. I was spending, $50-$60 a day just, getting myself out of this jam, right? So to speak, literally jam, the jelly, whatever. Electric guitar attachment could be an amp, and let's see, gentle. It's been such a long day, and I just finished teaching a 3-hour course on patient safety and quality techniques, and it was virtual too. If I do it in person, I always have more energy. If I do it on live on a seminar, I'm like, oh. So so vegetable often added to fried rice. I'm gonna go with a P on that one. So gentle. I guess, I am just not tracking this at all for some reason. It's not coming to me at all. Author could be to pen. Everything else is, so we're going with meek here? Okay, all right, well, by definition, by all means. Yes, so hits the slopes, maybe skis. Place to keep safe during an emergency. I guess it'd be a panic room. Where most songs use their titular lyrics, and I guess this would be the chorus. I wasn't tracking meek up there at all. I mean, that was not even in my radar. I mean, it just mean blank, rough urban area. How about mean streets? Streets, what am I doing? Just stop it. And now here I'm inserting emojis and kicking the grid around. This is ridiculous. Now, come on, stop it, Christopher. Mean streets, okay. Reference works, all I gotta see right there. As a matter of fact, right over here behind this ear is my complete OED, thanks to my mutti. Sought the favor of, perhaps we were wooing. in the past tense, of course. Input for a fax machine. A sheet of paper. And I see we got a lot of comments and stuff and a ton of email I need to get to today when we're processing videos. But yeah, I got stickers to throw in some envelopes and my address and get out. So excited. I'm just so excited for everybody. That's really cool. How tied games may be settled in overtime. And I had one message that I'll have to read specifically. I just thought it was just fantastic. Really, I mean, all of them were, right? I've heard from a fellow, I'm a former advertising exec, creative director. Met one on, online here, the puzzle music from Leeds, and it's amazing. Small world, all connected. Really, it's amazing. Session at the pool, maybe a swim. Office note could be a memo. What do we have here? Goal of some bodybuilding exercise. What would be to tone up? Yeah. It may be left holding the bag. I have no idea what that is. Holding the bag. Huh. Okay, cheery goodbyes. Oh, I don't know. Chows? Tatas? Tatas. I know, that sounds bad. It's not. It's a ta-ta. TTFN, ta-ta for now. Yeah. It's not talking about a certain cancer awareness issue. Delete, maybe to erase. I mean, I don't need anybody thinking I'm some sort of creeper. I'm just saying tatas. I mean, I don't know. Tickle, maybe to amuse, maybe. You amuse me. You amuse me. Okay, got it. So it may be left holding the bag. What? A teapot, maybe? I mean, this is great. You're making me really think on a Tuesday. It could have had a very long day, or it could just be that Boaz Moser here has got a really cool grid going, right, for a Tuesday. So, custody dessert, I'm going with a flan. One of the few things I miss, one of the very few things I miss in my zero carb approach to dining and life. It's crazy. So let's see. Site of an apocalyptic final battle in the Bible. I'm assuming we're talking about Armageddon. Or a really good movie from the late 90s with Bruce Willis and I don't know, what's her name's? The Tyler's. I don't remember his name now, from Aerosmith. He's got a daughter. Steven Tyler and his wife, his daughter Lynn, maybe? Liz? I don't know. Liv Tyler. Thank God. Got the real brains behind me here. Brownish shade would be a taupe. Okay. Stubborn animal. How about asses? Now, Loges lines up just fine. And sure enough, these are tatas. I don't even know where to put the emphasis on that to not emphasize it wrongly. I don't know what that is. Now I'm really, really perplexed. Each star on the American flag represents a state, not a state. I said a teapot, not a tea. I didn't help myself at all with that. So, okay, Armageddon, taupe, asses, a seer, prognosticator, teapot, dome scandal. We all remember that from the 1932 era. Vegan protein source. How about tofu? I gotta watch my spelling. I'm gonna get hemmed up by my own petard. It'll be ridiculous. Grain storehouses. How about silos? I just never learned how to type with the speed with which that I think, and that would be so nice if I could do that. Oh, it's either heck if I know or the HE double hockey sticks version. I'm not a prig by any stretch. Just don't offend anybody. Layer that a hovercraft floats on. How about an air cushion? I used to be able to ask in Swahili, how many eels can you fit in your hovercraft? I don't know why I learned that. It seemed like it was a thing at the time. So we have a pointy-eared inhabitant of Middle Earth, and this would be an elf. Speaking of, I need to get to the back to Lord of the Rings trilogy. Got 2 more to watch. Measure of how much sky is available. And I'm assuming we're shooting here for cloud cover. And that said, wanders, maybe rose. And let's see, sound heard in a stalactite cave, and I guess this would be a drip. Skyscraper construction piece would be maybe an I-beam. Texting format, wow, that's getting a little, sure is showing up an awful lot, isn't it? Long Beach, Charleston, and Baltimore. So perhaps we're looking for ports. It's because I think this 39 across is going to be adobo. Mexican marinade, yes. But what else are you going to have when you got blank D-O-B blank? I mean, anything but the B, sure, adopt something, right? Adorn, but we already had a B. So we're going with the ports. I think solving grids is a lot like playing chess in a lot of ways. You're always trying to anticipate the next move, right? You know, because you're constantly trying to check and recheck in your mind so that you don't get hung up. I mean, you know, then really what I got to do instead of playing chess with myself, figuring out the gambit, is I could just be watching what I type. More sore. Perhaps we're achier. Wow, cool. Man, when I was a kid and you said, oh, neat, that would have gotten you beat up, I think. I mean, oh, neato. That just, I don't think you would have ever said it. But the rage when I was a kid was like this Valley Girl speak. Oh, yeah, like gross, man. Grody. Like, as if. You know, it's just that kind of crap. I think we taught the whole world to end every sentence with a high note, like they're asking a question. You know what I mean? I mean, am I wrong? Am I right? You know, like that. I think we are responsible. Gen X did that crap, and I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Modern filmmaking tech for short, CGI. The funniest thing I saw recently, I think it was on TikTok. Shotzi showed it to me. This guy, he's sitting there at the couch with his wife. He's like, I just want to publicly apologize for cheating on my wife in her dreams. She's sitting there all the time, too. You know, kind of like, spit it out. Place for boxers to exercise. We've already got a dog here. That's funny. So maybe a dog park. The Ten Commandments director, that would be Cecil B. DeMille. I don't think I've ever seen the Ten Commandments either. This is all crosswordies. Smooth as silk. Actor Morales. Oh, wow. That's that hard name. Isai, I think. Villainous hideout. How about a lair? Disappointing awards season outcome for a critically successful movie. Ooh, got the Oscar snub here. That is never any kind of bueno. No matter how you bueno, that's no bueno. Prohibit could be to ban. And country with the most Olympic medals, probably certain jingoistic chat. USA, USA. I would imagine anyway, but that's probably because America is made up of a little bit of everybody. All the best, right? Maybe that's it. 0. How about no? Word with floor or flight could be a plan. Documentation for a foreign traveler. How about a visa? So do we have here a réponse, s'il vous plaît? We do. Invitation initialism. Please respond. Easily awakened individual whose bed may feature a 20, 31, and 41 across. Sheet of paper. Oh, sheet, cushion, cover. Okay. So maybe we're talking about a light sleeper. Not me. Pixar film that revived the song Life is a Highway. I thought Tom Cochrane did that in 1992. Oh, oof. Yeah, no wonder. They probably did. It's Cars. Didn't I put Cars in? Yeah, I say Cars here. It's already filled in.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at it from a sorry.
So I think we got Hell If I Know. Oh, hell if I know, but I didn't know Cars. I was just making a Tom Cochran joke because it turns out in 1992 that could actually use a revival by 2000, whatever Cars came out. So alternatives to essays, probably orals. Decomposed, could be rotted. All right, what do we got here? Secondary area of study, yes. Oh, man. I love my minor. Alt rock band, they might be giants. And everybody always thinks Istanbul is once Constantinople and all that stuff, but I always like the James Merlin is a Democrat and an abolitionist. It was like he just did all these history lessons and stuff, and I love They Might Be Giants. Lad's counterpart. Maybe we were talking a loss. So a plastic bit on the end of a shoelace is an aglet. Shelter in a chilly landscape, perhaps an igloo. And when Shotzi and I are well into our cups in the evening and we're laying in bed trying to drift off, we find ourselves watching some strange channel with this dude that just goes out with like a bandsaw and like an entirely gourmet meal mixed up already in Ziploc bags, and he like makes shelters out of stuff. And it's got great ASMR value and whatnot. And we're like going, man, he brings all that crap with him. It'd be better if he would like going out and like finding his food. And we're like, then we both are like, no, it would be better just to have it ready to be heated up, right? So beach would be a shore. Rows could be stood. The other thing that I get hooked on a lot is those dudes that clean carpets. I watch them for hours and hours just cleaning carpets. I'm like, this is crazy. I love it. So Zorro, Superman, or Indiana Jones. Wow, that is quite a group. It sounds like a walk into a bar joke. So maybe an action hero. And I need to get some opera glasses for my darling bride so that she can be looking for typos. Group sending radio signals into space. And I do believe that would be SETI, the search for extraterrestrial something like that. Intelligence. See, no bid. I pass. Sings nonsense syllables, probably scats. Raise as a concern could be to voice. And then Warhol's Campbell's soup cans would be pop art. And Jack, who ate no fat, could be sprat. And if we fat fingered something, I do apologize. But how did we do, Bob? Oh, fantastic grid. I mean, this is the kind of Tuesday. I mean, it was not in any way whatsoever insurmountable. Even with limited experience, this is one that you're going to get through. The thing is, it just wasn't expected for a Tuesday. You kind of think to yourself it's going to be Tuesday, slightly more vigorous than a Monday. But this was really a good, solid construction. It was just clever. Nothing in here inelegant whatsoever. I mean, it was great. I mean, fabulous. Just bravo, Boaz Moser. Beautifully well done. Outstanding. Let's go ahead and bring down our Benny Erdadu, and we'll go ahead and call it class. All right, everybody, we got your homework, which is to subscribe, please. Like it if you don't mind. And if you but if you haven't subscribed, it is free. And we just kind of can make a commitment to each other. Yeah, and if you guessed 42 the other day, and I think you owe me an address, and you just send you a decal, right? I had to get some of that advertising out there. It's just fantastic. I did get a fantastic note, and I just wanted to point it out. I haven't had a chance to respond to anyone. I just don't. The schedule's crazy. So my responses always come following grids and when they're processing and then uploading. But I got to say to Jack McLaughlin out there, or maybe it's McLaughlin, I'm not sure. I've heard it's pronounced both ways. But he just says, I'm not a big fan of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Well, that may be the case, Jack, but at least you got the 42 reference. And but he says, I am a big fan of the Christopher's Guide to the Crossword. Now, that's fantastic. That's good stuff. And then, of course, he ends it with 42, right? You know, which is absolutely the meaning of life. I'm convinced of that, right? But I gotta tell you, the thing that really made me the happiest on this planet was when I was compared for several months, you know, over and over again, that I was perhaps the Bob Ross of crosswords. And I tell you, I just thought if I only had that hair, right? You know, I'd love to have his hair, but no, I don't have his hair. But what a compliment that was. But I got to tell you, the Christopher's Guide to the Crossword, that's right up there with Bob Ross of crosswords. This is that's fantastic stuff. So thank you. I mean, that's 42. Mahalo. All right, fantastic, beautiful. So until we see you again next time, if you see this bottle of wine out there, grab it. It is a fantastic one. Like I said, universal donor, if we're going to extend the metaphor. But be good and careful and kind to each other out there. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. And Cin-Cin. Just do your level best to be kind to those strangers behind you in line. Maybe pick up the tab if it's not a minivan full of 12 people. Unless you're rich. Then you can do it. Be well.